The emergency ward doors burst open. Machines screamed. Doctors shouted. And in the middle of the chaos stood Nurse Amara Johnson. Calm. Focused. Unshaken. She was trying to save a life. But then. Slap. The sound echoed through the entire hospital. A wealthy CEO had just struck a black nurse for touching his sister. What he didn't know was that the woman he slapped was protected by one of the most dangerous men in Asia. And in less than 24 hours, his entire empire would begin to crumble. BP dropping. She's losing blood. Amara pressed harder on the wound. Prep or now. Move. A tall man in a tailored navy suit stormed forward. Get your hands off my sister. Amara didn't look up. If I do, she dies. Slap. Gasps. Silence. The entire ward froze. But the slap had witnesses. And cameras. Daniel Park, CEO of Park Global Holdings. Billion-dollar contracts. Political connections. No one spoke to him without permission. But this nurse? She didn't flinch. You can yell later, she said calmly. Right now she needs surgery. His pride burned. You're finished in this city. He had no idea. He just threatened the wrong woman. As Amara adjusted the 4-line, the ring on her finger caught the light. Platinum. Engraved in Korean. Daniel noticed. But dismissed it. Because he didn't know the name carved inside. Lee Jae-Hyun. And that name? Carried weight. Outside the hospital. 3 black SUVs rolled in. Doors opened in sync. Men in tailored black suits stepped out. Disciplined. Silent. Deadly. And then he stepped out. Lee Jae-Hyun. Head of the Seoul Crimson Syndicate. A man governments negotiated with carefully. And enemies feared completely. He entered the hospital. And the temperature dropped. Daniel was still raging. I'll revoke her license. A deep voice cut through the air. You struck a medical professional? Daniel turned. Their eyes locked. For the first time in years, Daniel felt small. Who are you? He demanded. Lee stepped closer. I'm the man your sister is marrying. Silence. Daniel blinked. My sister would never. She already did. Lee showed him the engagement contract. Signed. Sealed. Registered. Sumin had chosen her future. And she hadn't chosen her brother's approval. But that wasn't what shook Daniel most. It was what Lee said next. The nurse you hit, Lee said calmly, is under my protection. Daniel laughed bitterly. She's hospital staff. Lee's eyes hardened. She saved my mother's life 2 years ago. Pause. In my world. That makes her family. Operating room lights glared. Amara worked with steady precision. Outside. 2 powerful men waited. One pacing. One perfectly still. Pray she survives, Lee said softly. Because if she doesn't. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. A junior nurse replayed security footage. The slap. Clear as day. She hesitated. Then sent it anonymously to a blog outlet. By morning, the internet would explode. Headline. Billionaire CEO assaults black nurse during medical emergency. Stock prices dipped. Comment sections raged. Hashtags trended. Daniel stared at his phone. Control. He was losing control. Weak. Pale. But alive. Appa, she whispered. Daniel grabbed her hand. Why didn't you tell me? She looked at him. Because you think love is a business deal. And then? You hit the woman who saved me. Rooftop restaurant. No bodyguards. Just Daniel. And Lee. You embarrass her publicly again, Lee said quietly. I dismantle your board. Daniel swallowed. You're threatening me? No. Pause. I'm informing you. Hospital administration offered settlement money. She pushed the envelope back. I don't sell my dignity. The story gained more traction. Because strength is louder than fear. Daniel's board questioned his leadership. This scandal is costing us millions. For the first time, he wasn't the most powerful man in the room. Daniel rewatched the footage. The slap. Her steady eyes. Her calm voice. If I don't touch her, she dies. Shame crept in. Daniel requested a meeting with Amara. She arrived alone. No fear. He stood. And bowed. I was wrong. The room froze. Because powerful men don't bow easily. Respect isn't seasonal, she said. You don't turn it on when cameras are watching. Every word landed. He listened. Really listened. Lee observed quietly. Watching Daniel's actions. Not his words. Because in Lee's world, only actions mattered. Daniel publicly funded the Johnson Initiative, a foundation protecting nurses from workplace abuse. He asked Amara to lead it. She hesitated. Then accepted. On one condition. Zero interference. He agreed. A rival corporation attempted a hostile takeover, using the scandal as leverage. But Lee's network intercepted it. Quietly. Cleanly. Daniel realized something chilling. Lee had protected him. You needed that slap, Sumin told him softly. He didn't argue. Daniel met Lee again. No tension. No threats. Just mutual understanding. You changed, Lee said. I had to, Daniel replied. Public press conference. Cameras flashing. Sumin stood proudly beside Lee. And beside her, Amara. Unshaken. Unapologetic. Hospital staff began respecting Daniel again. Because he showed up. Privately. Without cameras. Listening. Learning. Korean traditions met modern elegance. Luxury. Power. But something else filled the room. Peace. An aggressive journalist tried provoking Daniel. Do you regret slapping the nurse? He didn't dodge. Yes. And I thank her for teaching me humility. Growth. Public. Clear. Ceremony breathtaking. Lee in traditional attire. Sumin radiant. Amara watching proudly. Daniel approached her. Thank you, for not letting me stay the man I was. She smiled softly. Just don't become him again. Months later. Daniel visited the hospital anonymously. Watching nurses work tirelessly. He saw what he once ignored. Humanity. True power wasn't dominance. It wasn't fear. It was restraint. It was accountability. He thought money made him untouchable. He thought status made him superior. But one slap exposed everything. And one nurse's strength rebuilt a man. Because sometimes the most powerful people in the room are the ones saving lives, not the ones signing checks. If this story moved you, comment respect below.